Welcome viewers to this ENFRAtv exclusive with Professor A.G. Iyer, Editor-in-Chief, MARKENOMY Journal, on mining and minerals potential in India and the recently held National Conclave on Mining and Minerals 2016 in Raipur. Welcome, sir.
Very good. Welcome. After a long time, we have come on an issue of national interest, and I believe that the 4th and 5th July in Raipur, where the National Conclave for Mines and Minerals was held, where the publication MARKENOMY was the partner, was a landmark case in history in the country, because it was one of the, I think in the last 40 or 50 years, the finest initiative taken at a ministerial level, at a governmental level, where in the country for the first time we try to assess the real potential of India's minerals and mining sector. And in fact, as we consider the wealth of the country, right? The wealth of a nation like India, and it wants to be a superpower by 2022. That's what we are aiming at. And if we want to be a superpower economy by 2022, when we complete 75 years, and which is absolutely a situation of a golden jubilee for us, right? In that year, I think the only way we can consider our GDP to be hitting currently from the $2.4 trillion to be in the region of, I would say, $8 trillion, which is feasible. It can only happen if India seriously and very consciously promotes its mining, mineral resources and natural resources in it. And that's very clear. And I think the landmark issue of waking up a sleeping giant, I would say, happened on the 4th and 5th July in Raipur. Chhattisgarh is historical.
How do you see the potential scope of the mining and minerals sector?
See, as I told you very clearly, we have a roadmap here between 2022 or the timeline of 2025. Which one we want to select? If we want to select 2022, which must be the ideal one, because the great Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam wanted India 2020, but that was not going to happen, because at that time when he said 2020, my own position personally, along with my late brother Prakash Iyer, was India should be looking at 2012 and not 2022 as a superpower economy. But that opportunity was lost, because from the period, the wonderful government of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, which moved the entire thing first, right, went away. And of course we should also give credit to the Narasimha Rao government, before that, because these are the two septuagenarians who changed the destiny of India, and in which I think the contribution of Vajpayee is immaculate, right? And then we saw a position in 2004, a change in government happened. Dr. Manmohan Singh came into picture with the UPA regime, and the first 5 years what we saw, 90% of the people would say the first 5 years were good, the UPA one was good. I don't think so, because the first thing that happened was there was no work on the networking of rivers. There was no work on finding these mineral resources at all, which was continuing the scope of the last 40 years of neglect. And the food security situation went down, and the impact of this, the only thing was that the second round or second time Manmohan Singh came to power was, I tell you, only on that argument of nuclear deal. But nuclear deal was not the reason for the success. It was, there was no good opposition pitch in that period, and we saw a second round, and I think India went down in these 10 years into the worst situation in the history, that it never went in that way. I would say, if I look at it, the times of Rajiv Gandhi, when we saw progress of telecommunication and the first moment the Digital India came, and with due respect to people from both the sides and who have come to power. But I tell you, the Manmohan Singh position of governance for 10 years was not only a policy paralysis, people talk about policy paralysis, but it was a position of denying India constantly and perpetually its right place in history. And that's the reason Abdul Kalam's 2020, according to me, would have been India 2012 if Vajpayee had got a second round. That's my view, but that did not happen. That's past history. And now the position has come back where we have again a chance right? Looking at India 2022, 2 years away from 2020 that Kalam went. So Kalam became prophetic because he probably saw the failure would come, or destiny made him say that. But 2 years later, but even if we want to achieve that, 2022, we need an $8 trillion GDP drive to fuel the economy and ensure that the poverty in India comes close to negligible. That means everybody in this country worth the employability or deployability has a chance in the economy. And if this we have to do, or it will be missed out by 3 years to 2025, it's not also bad, that's also good achievement according to me. Either 2022 or 2025, in that period, we would see an $8 to $10 trillion GDP. And that cannot happen without a very important role of the mining, minerals and natural resource industry. So that is my answer to this whole question for you.
Next question is, what is the way forward to achieve the double-digit growth in this sector?
Exactly, in the specific sector, to achieve double-digit growth, time and again, maybe in the next 10 years, as I told you, that path is there in front of us. So we need to affect double-digit growth, because if the economic growth rate is going to be double-digit, let us say constantly, we are talking about from 7.6% now, growth rate we are saying we perpetually hit 10% plus over the next 10 years. That's what the Modi government is aiming. If this is the aim, then right now in the next year, we should see double-digit growth appearing in sectors like mining and minerals, sectors like water, sectors like energy, sectors like infrastructure, energy and power. So these sectors must cross the double-digit growth next year, which is 2017. They should already be visualized. So that by 2022, we would have sustained the growth rate. Like economic growth rate of 10%, will need 15 to 16% growth rate of these sectors, failing which we cannot achieve the 10% growth of the Indian economy.
Right.
That's the fact.
Professor, what are your views on technology adoption, deployment and productivity in this key sector?
I tell you, it starts from, the history will start, because at National Conclave on Mines and Minerals, we did not touch two things. That is, we did not touch fuel resources based mining or exploration. We did not touch coal mining and exploration. We also did not touch the iron ore mining and exploration. The three things were not done. Therefore, we limited our entire discussion over there to the non-ferrous mining and resources. That means we were looking at the copper, zinc, cobalt, nickel, lead combined, and also I would say dolomite, gypsum, bauxite. Bauxite's big, because alumina. So we were looking at a very different, or even marbles and precious stones, gems. So anything which was non-ferrous, and earth materials, rare earth materials, and also we looked at atomic minerals. We saw policy dimension coming out on the atomic minerals. We saw policy dimension coming on rare earth minerals. All this happened at the National Conclave for Mines and Minerals on the 4th and 5th July. Definitely there was a direction of policy set with renewed vigor in the national mining and exploration policy that has come up from the government, and the regulation policy that has come from the government after so many years. 2015 was a landmark year to have that. But a direction appeared over there. This is there. But the other three parts, not two, three issues, which I told you: coal, iron ore, and definitely fuel resources. Okay? Add that entire thing to the basket. Right? What are you looking at?
Right.
You're basically looking at the greatest opportunity on the planet.
Yes.
Right? For this country. And it to succeed. So I would say, if you want to do this, there is a continuous role and a perpetual role of technology. Without technology, you cannot increase productivity. Like India can pat its back that we are the highest producer of coal in the region or whatever, minus China. But that's no good, because a 300 billion ton of coal potential, what are you mining? 600 million ton? This is pathetic. You have not reached 1 billion ton and you're importing coal, right? Why? Because your technology access and productivity is very poor. We all know that we are doing very, I would say very general based, or I would say very low tech open cast mining. That's what we are adopting. And in the open cast mining, we just use excavators and dumpers. And these are the only machines that come into play. And they can be, the capacity can change, the larger capacity can change, the tonnages can change. But where is the deep ground mining? Or where is the multidimensional mining? Or where the overburden is removed more quicker and more productively? And the energy utilization, in achieving objective of removal of, I would say, overburden for per unit ton of coal production is not there. I make the language simple. For example, if the Chinese are mining much more than us and the Europeans and Americans are doing much more than us, for example, the Chinese are doing 4 or 5 times more than what we do in terms of productivity, and the Americans are doing 28 to 35 times more than us. So therefore, we cannot be efficient and productive in our mining of coal. And this can be extended, this argument will go on extending to other areas of mining and mineral resources, right? So technology deployment, its adoption at the beginning, absorption at the beginning must be like the Make in India objective, we should say mine and adopt in India objective. You must use, like coal, if you use drag lines, right, which are high-tech machines, and these machines can increase our mining capability, in very remote areas, especially the Korba region and the, I would say, the region on the Vindhyachal, which basically we have carved out the Sidri district, which is the biggest district in the country, producing about 30 to 40,000 megawatt of electricity, and having the largest capacity of coal mining, in the country, which includes Anpara, Sasan, and all that belt, the entire Vindhyachal belt. So this belt needs technology access, and it needs better way of mining, more environment-friendly mining, and qualitative mining. Your productivity will increase in that case. If it increases, what you're doing today will increase 10x, multiple 20x. That's the potential. If you do that, you are very clearly the leader, not only in Asia, but you could probably compete with China in the short run in the mining reserves and their potential exploitation. That would be my answer for that.
Thank you, Professor A.G. Iyer, President, MARKENOMY Foundation and Editor-in-Chief of MARKENOMY, for giving us your valuable time in our Infra Show. This is Thiagarajan signing off from the Infra Show. Thank you.